What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another podcast of How to Make a Knife. This is Steve Cutter, and
What's up? I'm Mike Alfaro from Alpha Blade and Forge. How we doing, man?
good man. How you doing?
Well, good. It's been a long day. It's late right now for us, but we're here doing it. So
Yeah, it happens. It
yeah,
happens during the week, man.
heck yeah. So you've been working on anything?
Um, Not so much. I've just been getting some knives ready, getting some of these drop points ready, putting the thumb grooves in, getting everything basically ready for heat treat. And then just kind of thinking of some odds and ends of what I can bring to the show to kind of get some eyes onto my table and things like that, So,
Yeah.
what
How,
about you?
how do
You
you
get
put
any
your?
work done?
I haven't gotten much work done at all. I just I got some bread knives that are in the temper oven right now, but other than that, I haven't worked on anything. But so, how do you put those grooves, thumb grooves, into your blades? There is that file work, or do you use a little grinder? What do you do with that?
Um, these the new ones I'm doing are kind of these um, triangle style grooves, and I've been
Yeah.
doing those on the Bridgeport at work.
Hmm.
Whenever I have like a break at work or something like that, I'll put them in there and then I'll finish them off with the file. Just get them started. Um,
Nice.
but it does help. The Bridgeport is a little nice to take
Yeah.
a little bit of the file work away.
Yeah. I've never done any grooves or anything like that. You see those awesome designs going down the spine and the handle. I haven't
Yeah.
messed with any of that yet. I love
I
it.
haven't messed
I
with
just,
designs. Well, I mean, technically, you did grooves in your bread knife. It's technically, but those are
yeah,
serrations, I guess. But same thing.
yeah. I mean, I did them with a little Dremel, so it's
Yeah,
this is detail
whatever
work.
works, man.
Yeah, the
However it gets done.
yeah, the three that I have in the oven right now. Once they're done, I am gonna do them with a 3/4 inch wheel on my
Mhm.
grinder. I'm just gonna put it down to 20% and very carefully put them in. I'm gonna try that out. It
Yeah,
should be a little bit more consistent because the one I did with the Dremel, I mean, everything came out
looks
nice and
nice.
even, but it took like an hour.
Oh, is that
Where
right?
it, yeah. So if
Were
I
you burning up
carefully
pads
just
and shit?
no,
Were you
I mean,
using a sawn?
it was it was the Dremel, and it was just that little cone, the little grinded cone, and I had it on slow, and I just carefully drew each one in. So um, the hardest thing about that was you're drawing it in. It's not like you're just laying it down, and you got to make sure they're all even and equally spaced. And with the Dremel, every time I'd get near the other serration, it would want to jump and round off
Yeah.
the points. So I ended up with a bunch of rounded points instead of pointed points, and that's how you break the crust of a nice crispy bread. So I'm hoping that the grinder will really change that for me and make it a lot easier.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will.
Yeah, yeah. Serrations are rough.
Yeah, haven't messed with those yet. I do plan on making bread knives eventually. I don't think I'll have any ready for the show, but talking about the show, what are you thinking about bringing? What are you
Oof.
going to be putting on your table or tables, I should say?
Well, so I've been really thinking about my layout. Last year was my first time at this show. I had a 6 foot table. I have a black tablecloth,
Yeah.
and then I had my knives laid out with prices. But what I had done last year to just be an eye opener or would have bring them on over was I made my bone saw.
Yeah.
This year I plan on still having it right in the center. I also now have my logo as a little statue, so I'm going to have that in the center, and then surrounded on my two tables are just going to be the right side is going to be all culinary, kitchen knives, paring knives, fillet knives, steak knives, everything culinary.
Mhm.
And then the other side is going to be my oddities and weird stuff, my throwing knives, my, 1/4 inch cleavers, my machete, my,
Yeah. All your
combat.
own shit.
Yeah. So that way it's almost like it's two separate booths and then a nice little focal point in the middle.
Hmm.
Um, And that's my goal, is just to have a nice array. Now I only have 17 knives made currently, and I plan on making 12 more.
More than what I got. Okay, yeah, that's a good. That's a good. So you're trying to go with about 30 knives.
Ideally, yeah, because I bought the two tables, and I don't want to end up not filling it up. So I'm kind of,
Mm-hmm.
I'm over committing right
30 was
now.
the
We'll see
number.
how it
The
turns
30
out.
was the number I was at too. I'd like to be there with 30. I mean, I got a good chunk ready to go. I got a bunch of stuff that really just needs to be heat treated. I got some stuff that just needs to be glued up.
Yeah,
So I'm in a good position, but at the same time, it's a crunch. It's soon.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, for real.
and I gotta make something for myself to bring some people to my table, something that's a little catchy. So,
Man, I'd say maybe bring your deer skull. Put that on your table, man.
I might use some centerpieces like that and stuff, but I mean like a blade. I need an eye catching blade, whether it be that
Yeah,
axe or whatever I decide to make.
yeah,
Um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. See what I go with. We'll see what comes
absolutely.
up in my little brain here between now and then.
Yeah, it'll be that last week, that week following up to it, that you'll just be throwing together the wildest shit.
Something crazy. Yeah, as long as I'm satisfied with the stuff I want to sell. Like I got a couple of. I think I will be. I got a bunch of stuff lying around that been looking at the past couple of days that should be good. I got that boning knife. I got that S grind knife that'll be coming with me.
Yeah,
I got a similar knife that's same style, but it's brass on the handle there. Um,
nice.
but yeah, and this is that CPM Magna Cut stuff too. So we'll see how that works for a chef's knife.
Nice. All right.
I've heard good things. I've heard great things about
Yeah.
them all around, really. But I haven't sold
Yeah.
any of the CPM stuff yet. But like I said, man, it kills my fucking belt. So that's the only thing that makes me nervous about it. Like people sharpening these things, it is what it is. That's what they
Yeah.
want.
Yeah. I follow this guy called Big Chris Knives, or Big Chris Custom Knives. And he makes like competitive choppers and stuff. And he uses, I believe it's all CPM Magna Cut now.
Oh, is that right?
And dude, the shit he's chopping, I love it. I love it. And he'll do it slow mo, just beating up on things. And
Yeah, that's cool.
it's very impressive. So
Yeah,
hopefully, hopefully it's worth the all the belts.
yeah. As long as they sell, I mean, that's all that matters,
Yeah.
right? As long as
Yeah.
people pick them up.
Yeah, definitely. So, what do you expect from this show? Like, what's your goal walking into this here? What do you want to get out of it?
I mean, the goal walking in is to get eyes on cutter fabrications. Whether I only get rid of business cards, I'll look at that as a win. But yeah, obviously, I'd like to sell at least a knife to make it worth the trip, the hotel room, and all that stuff. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, just the exposure, just getting the experience of the first knife show under the belt, things like that. And like I said, if it turns out that I just give out a couple of cards, that's cool. But it'd be great to sell a couple too.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure it's awesome. There's a lot of people that show up. Man, it's so surreal, because I went one time as just a customer, and it was so impressive that that's
Hmm.
what made me sign up last September to be in it. Was I enjoyed the atmosphere. It's such a positive feel. Everybody's there celebrating knives, and you know, man, there's this one guy who makes his knife, and I'm sure you've seen it on Instagram, but he makes his handle and his sheath all out of the same piece of wood. So when it's closed up, it looks like a solid piece of wood.
Hmm.
And then, you
Is it
pull it out, and
like a Japanese style knife?
no, it's honestly just more traditional knives. It's not like those long, thin ones. They're fat little, everyday carries and stuff. But he's also a woodworker. He has cutting boards and stuff like that there. And
Gotcha.
yeah, it's so cool, the shit you're gonna see. So even beyond selling the knives and everything, just being part of this community was a great experience.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I'm pumped, dude. I'm pumped. You
Yeah,
know
I'm pretty excited.
something
My stuff just went through. I just got my payments went through today, so I'm pretty
nice,
excited.
nice. I just wanted to say that I noticed for last year at the end of day 2 on Sunday, it gets pretty slow towards the end of the day, and a lot of people started packing up, and probably half of the show was gone halfway through the day.
Hmm.
I sat there to the very last minute and I did 2 sales like 5 minutes before the thing closed. Because there's those
Yeah,
people who walk through and are like, well, I want to buy something, but half of the people are packed up already. So
yep.
just staying there right to the very end, fully open, alone can get you a sale.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing for us anyway because we're pretty close. Some of these people are probably those people who are packing up. They might be driving back to Virginia or something. Who knows?
Yeah,
But
no, for sure.
but yeah, I mean, I think that on Sunday it looks like it ends at 2 o'clock anyway, so
Yeah,
it's not too
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
I'm fine with that.
yeah.
Um, One thing I noticed I wanted to ask you about. I noticed on on Lehigh Valley Knife Show's Facebook page that they do like a fixed blade competition and a folding knife competition. What do
Yes.
you know about that? And
Okay, so I didn't know about it when I went in. I was so
yeah,
like nervous and
there's
focused to
no
just have a table.
information on their website about it, which I find pretty weird. Because once I found that out, I went to their website and I was like, oh, let me find out like the details about it. I can't find shit.
Yeah, no. So as soon as all the makers show up that morning on Saturday, they ask to enter, and all you do is you bring a knife over to this table, and they lay it all out, and every maker has an opportunity to enter something, and then there's a judging. I honestly, so last I didn't have anything that was going to beat out Evolution Cutlery or Luke Del Mar, so I didn't enter, but so I don't know what came of it. I don't know what you win from it. I don't know what happens. I mean, maybe you just get the title of, Knife of Show. Maybe they
Yeah,
give
I
you a
think
prize.
you just get a little. The guy was holding a little award. I think you just get acknowledgement. Really, is what it's about, which is cool.
Yeah.
But
I considered entering it this year, and
oh yeah,
I bought Damascus in order to do it. I figured I was just going to do a nice classic kitchen knife and just do it as clean as possible. And I ended up using it to make a folding knife for my pops. I don't think I'm ready to enter this competition. Again, some of the knife makers there are just truly masters, and it's not worth it for me right now.
yeah. I'm thinking about it. I'm probably gonna try to do something
Oh,
stupid.
nice,
I mean,
dude.
I might completely fail and bring nothing, but I feel like I have time to try maybe get something cool out.
I mean, even if you don't make anything for it, just enter your S grind chef knife. Just put it in the lineup.
Yeah, if it came down to that, I mean, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty fucking competitive, dude. So if I'm gonna go for it, I'm gonna try to make something pretty cool. So
That's
we'll
what I'm
see.
talking about.
Maybe you guys should keep your eyes out for something pretty cool at the show. Maybe I'll have something badass. Maybe I won't. We'll see.
That's awesome, and I'm pretty sure. So if you enter a knife in, I'm pretty sure they do the judging pretty quickly and they bring it back to you. That way you can put it on the table for sale. So it's not like if you make something, it just goes to the show and it's not available to sell. I think they do their judging quickly and then it comes back to you. So
Was there like parameters to the night? Like it could
I
be as
don't think
big
so.
or as small as you want.
I believe so. I think it's a fixed blade and then a folder. So a
Oh, okay.
mechanical and a non. So that's it.
So non-mechanical could be anything from a sword to a fucking paring knife. So you're saying?
I don't. Again, I
That's
don't
what
know,
I would
but
guess.
yeah. Well, you know
Mm.
what? Yeah. Put a sword in. It's a fixed blade.
It's a fixed blade, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As long as it's handmade, I can't imagine why you wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Try it out, man. That alone.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. You know something I want to try too for this show, but I don't know if I have the balls to do it. Is have you seen the mustard patina knives?
Yeah, that's cool. That's pretty cool shit.
Ah, I love it.
Yeah, man.
I don't have the balls to just start throwing mustard on my knives and then like I don't know. I don't know. It's an issue I'm having right now where I love the look, but the thought of doing it kind of hurts. So
Yeah, I mean, I see exactly what you mean, but it is pretty cool.
yeah, for
You
sure.
could do like a fake Hammond with that, a fake Hamon line
Yeah,
with mustard, and it looks pretty cool.
yeah, yeah. I saw too like someone put or someone was telling me that put nail polish on the blade and then you throw like mustard and shit on it, and then the nail polish, whatever you make the design out of, is going to be clean, and then everything else is dirty. So you do like paint splatters and shit like that, and I love all
Yeah,
these different little finishes that people are doing now.
yeah. There's some cool stuff floating around. I mean, I like natural patinas too, though. Kind of let the
Yeah,
knife do whatever it's gonna do. But
yeah, absolutely. I'm a and I'll say that on episode 400, I'll still be saying, man, there's nothing better than a nice carbon blade with a blue streak right, right on the edge that just, lets you know what you've been cooking, what you've been cutting. It's it's a soul. It's the knife soul kind of.
it's a living piece. You know,
Yeah.
it's always
Yeah.
changing, forever changing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I literally just sanded out the patina on Dana's bread knife.
Yeah,
A bread knife, maybe you
it'll
don't
get
want a
out.
patina on it. Yeah, she cut an Italian. It had, mustard and stuff on it. And I don't know, it bothered me. So I cleaned it up. She's got a
Who
nice,
the fuck?
shiny bread knife now.
Who the fuck puts it mustard on an Italian?
Well, so we had an Italian and we had a
Weird.
turkey and Swiss with mustard.
I
You
don't
know,
know, man.
I apologize. Yeah, no, no, no.
I
We're
don't
not
know
putting
about you,
mustard.
man.
No,
I'm
we always
out
got
of
to get the
here, man.
turkey and Swiss.
Can't hang out with you guys anymore.
Yeah, that's the line in the sand.
Mustard on an Italian. What the fuck?
Getting willy nilly with that shit.
Shit.
No. Well,
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, like I said, like it'll come back pretty quick.
yeah, yeah. Are you going to have any sort of merch or anything? Because no other tables really have merch. Um,
I'll have
but
whatever you want.
I've got
I got
hats.
six
I don't know.
hats. Yeah, I got six
Yeah,
hats, but I'm keeping two. Maybe I won't keep two. I mean, maybe whatever.
keep two.
I'm giving one to
Keep two.
you. I'm keeping one. I'm giving one to my brother. So yeah, I'll probably just have three to sell. And if
Nice.
people
Yeah,
buy a couple hats, maybe I'll give out stickers. Like anybody who takes a card, like here, take a fucking sticker too. Like
yeah,
if I even get them made by then, hopefully we'll see. I'm not too worried about that. I'm more worried about getting out these knives, and
yeah,
I'd like to have, like I said, definitely going to need something attention grabbing that is going to be high priced. It's going to take some time to make and look nice. Um, if it sells, it sells. If not, it just gets eyes to the table. That's great. But what I
yeah,
really want, I'd like to have, 10 to 15 of these drop points, which I have more than enough of these ready to go. I just have to harden them and get handles on them. And
yeah,
the other thing I was thinking about doing too is, even if I get a bunch hardened, I'll probably just bring a couple like this and just be like, hey man, like if you like this is what they look like done. If you want a different color handle or another handle, like I have a ton of these ready to go. I'll mail
yeah,
it to you in 2 weeks. I just got to put a handle on it.
yeah. Custom
So
order. Oh,
yeah, exactly. So I might do some stuff like that, and um, make a couple of oddities. I might look into making a couple of straight razors because those gothic chicks love those fucking straight razors with
and we love those gothic chicks.
yeah, yep, yep, yep.
No, that's
You know,
awesome.
get all Sweeney Todd on them and shit. So we'll see. Maybe
Yeah,
I'll make some matching sets of those. Maybe a couple of like I said, just a couple of oddities, a couple of things that I'm not normally selling, not normally making.
yeah, absolutely. And even if it none of it gets sold, the best thing is to watch people's reactions to it,
Yeah.
because everybody comes to the table. You're gonna they buy it or they don't buy it. They're coming to the table, and you get to watch every reaction to every knife, which ones they're picking up, which ones they consider, which, and all of that is priceless information. So
True.
you don't sell a straight razor, but if people keep on picking it up and looking at it, it's like, okay, well, I know something now.
There's interest, yeah.
Yeah, like
And I think those
again,
would be
my
stronger
kitchen.
anyway, but
Yeah, like my kitchen knives, no one was really looking at them. I sold some, but at the end of the day, they were the paring knife, the fillet knife, the cleaver, but like the actual kitchen knife, I don't know. So
yeah.
that was information I don't know what to do with.
Exactly. Yeah, well, that's good information for me because, maybe I'm not going to bust my ass making 10 chef's knives. Maybe I'll make, 6 fillet knives and 3 chef's knives and 4 chef's knives, or,
Yeah,
we'll
dude,
see.
your
But
boning knife is something. I definitely
I'm
think you should.
definitely,
Yeah, at least
definitely
bring
bringing
two or
that.
three of them.
I'm going to bring, well, I'm going to bring definitely this one here, the actual
Yeah,
boning
look at
knife,
that.
and I'm going to make it. I'm
Fuck
going to
yeah,
make 2 more this style, but they're going to be fillet knives. They're going to have more flexibility. They're going to be thinner.
nice.
But they're going to be the exact same shape, I think. I really like that shape.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So I'll do a
That's
couple of fillet knives like that, and I'll probably do one. Maybe I'll, if I have the time, do one more boning knife like that. And I'll do. I definitely want to do a couple of chef's knives with hamons. And um,
nice.
what else? I wanted to do. There's something else I was thinking about, but I can't even remember at this point. I wrote some shit down. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah,
Whatever's done is coming. You know what I mean? I got 4 weeks to. Well, this
yeah,
weekend I'm going away to Vermont and actually do a little snowboarding. So after that, I'll have 4 weeks to get ready for the show, and whatever's done is coming. Hopefully, I have the 30 knives I wanted to get done. If not, then I take 20 or 25 or whatever the fuck I got.
yeah. I think I went there with 15 or 16 last year. I
Mm-hmm.
think was my number, and
Sold what, like 5 or 6 or so?
I ended up selling 7 or 8.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I did a few scenarios where like they were kind of looking at two of them, and I was like, I'll take $40
Cheaper.
off if you buy, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just if you buy both of them, fucking have 40 off, and that
Yeah.
was enough to push it. So I'll probably follow that, especially Sunday. I'll definitely do a buy two get 20 off or whatever they choose,
Yeah. True.
because it is. Dude, I'm not looking to make heavy profits here. Like you said, I'm here to just get the names out. And if people get my
Get your
knives and
name
I make
out,
some
maybe.
profit, sure.
Yeah, if I make profit, that's awesome. That's great. But the main goal is get my name out and hopefully, have my expenses for the weekend paid for. If I can have all that stuff paid for by selling,
Yeah.
2 knives, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
If not, then it is what it is. People took my cards, people saw my shit,
Yeah.
and I got the experience. So
Yeah.
we'll
And
see.
then,
But
something that happened too is a guy that I met at the show for Christmas ended up ordering one of my knives.
oh, is that
So
right?
even if you don't get the sale at the show, if someone
Yep.
is interested, you could still get that sale because of the show. So those 2 days aren't the only time to make the money.
Yeah, exactly. Like a couple people take a business card.
Yeah.
That counts. That stuff counts.
Yeah. Hey, do you know how you're going to package them up? Because last year I brought packages for the small knives, but then I had bigger knives that if someone did buy them, I don't know how I would have given it to them. So that's something I'm trying to think about this year.
Same thing I showed you. I think we talked about it. How we shipped some knives.
Yeah, those bags, right?
Yep. Yep. I would use one of those. Just
Yeah.
give them away in that, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
If I have stickers, they'll get a little sticker too, or something.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll throw that in a fucking bag, and cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because I have boxes for most of my knives, but for something like the cleaver, like I don't. This isn't gonna fit, so I don't know how to package this. Do I need to bring something special just for this, or
You might need to look into maybe go. You might have to go on Amazon or go into like some kind of packaging store and just Get some custom boxes for some of those odd shaped ones.
Yeah.
Might be your best
Yeah.
bet, you know, and
Yeah.
still try to make it look pretty and stuff when they open it, but at the same time, if they're buying it at the knife show, slap a sticker on the box and put it in it.
Yeah.
Call it a fucking day.
Uh, are you going to do receipts or anything like that?
I'll bring. I have a receipt book that I can write them out, so I'll bring that if people want them. The one thing I got to figure out, I used to have that square card reader thing that attached to my phone, but
Yeah.
that was so long ago, so I don't even know if I have that anymore. But with Zelle and fucking all those payment apps, I'm almost wondering if I don't even need that. But at the same time, I don't want people to not be able to buy something because they got a card.
Yeah. I did a sale at the last show with Zelle and with Venmo. So people are willing to use it. Make sure you have it downloaded and ready to easily give your information.
Yep.
And honestly, that might be good enough. People know how to use Zelle, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, I think those square card readers are kind of, obsolete, I guess, now with all the technology we have, but
yeah,
I
and
just don't
then
want
with
to get
the
caught in a
Zelle,
situation.
yeah, and you get receipts through Zelle, you know. So like you don't have to
True,
have
true,
receipts made up.
true.
It's digital. There it is. Yeah, and yeah,
That
Venmo
is
and
true.
PayPal seem to be it. Um, one thing I do want to point out is the hardest thing of the knife show is talking to so many people. I tend to be an introvert, and one of the
Mm,
hardest things about the show, I had a blast, but like there's a certain point of the day where I've seen enough faces, you know.
yep,
So
yep.
I I don't
I'm
know
the
how to
same
handle
way.
it
I'm
this
sure I'll
year.
be the same way. But
Yeah, it's exhausting. It's exhausting just
yeah,
standing there and talking.
and
I don't
yeah,
know.
and it's probably awesome at first. It's probably really exciting, and then like the 10th time you're saying the same fucking thing to somebody else. They don't know it's the 10th or 15th time you're saying it, but it's like the enthusiasm's gone now after you say it so many
Yeah.
fucking times.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, at the time of it, you're excited the 20th time, the 30th time. You're just happy to be saying it. But then the second that it's over, like dude, I felt like I ran a marathon.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to say anything to anyone. I just wanted food and to go sleep and get ready for the next day, you know. But it's funny that really social exhaustion is definitely a thing
Yeah, for
for
sure.
us.
Yep, and you're a salesman at that point too. Like
Yeah.
you made the product, now you got to fucking sell it, and you gotta you gotta tell people why your shit is better than the fucking 60 people standing around you with fucking knives. It's tough.
Yes.
It's a tough thing.
Yeah, that is very important, is to know your niche and what you do want to sell. And you know, for me, it's personally, I am a start to finish locally used material out of my garage, but with as much precision as possible. This is as hands on as it gets, and I use that. Other people are able to sell their Damascus. This is my handmade Damascus, and this and that, and so
Yep.
definitely find your niche and talk it up.
Yeah, I mean, I'll figure it out. This is gonna be one of those things you got to go there and figure it out as you go. But yeah, I mean, I know what I like to make, and I know what I'm going for. So
Yeah.
I think I'll be able to talk them up a little bit.
Yeah. No,
Now,
definitely.
last year when you were all set up, did you do any kinds of like demonstrations, cutting demonstrations, or anything? Or
I had considered bringing a stack of copy paper and a little garbage can so people could just pick up my knives and cut if they wanted. But the idea of just paper shreds falling all over my table,
Hmm.
I don't know. I didn't. So, no, ultimately I didn't. Um,
Did anybody have anything like that, or were they just showing their shit?
Not really. There's some people there that are demonstrating for sure. So there's craft makers. And then there's also the resellers, people who have a bunch of Spider Co. and Bush and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that, or antiques. And there's people even there who are just trading. Like the guy behind me, Don, he had a bunch of knives, and for the most part, he would sell them, but he was looking more for trading. And people go there kind of like sneakerheads, where they're like, I'm bringing some limited stuff. Who do you have? What do you got? We'll do trades. And that was
I
a cool
gotcha.
aspect of the knife making that I didn't even know
Mhm.
existed.
Yep.
But there's like knife sharpeners there, so they're just set up to sharpen knives, and so there. I guess you could call that a demonstration.
I guess.
But I didn't really see anybody there, demonstrating how sharp their knives were. So
Yeah.
maybe be that person, bring something just in case, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what I would do. What am I gonna fucking cut fucking potatoes for 17 fucking hours? You know. I
Right.
don't know.
Just a whole shitload of toilet paper rolls. Just keep on slicing them.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. Unless I
Yeah.
sat there and cut potatoes as thin as hair for fucking. No, I mean, I probably won't do any kind of demonstration or anything like that.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
some of the people, so they're, damn, Barrett or Bennett knives. I believe it's Bennett. Awesome guy. And he was demonstrating how he assembles the handles because it was all kind of like put together. And so, he had a knife there to show how it got all assembled and everything like that ultimately.
Yep.
Damn, or was
What was
that
it?
Luke
A
Delmar? I don't know. I hate to say
Delmar.
it. I was so scared and nervous every time I've been there, just so overwhelmed by the scenario. And I have severe imposter syndrome, as I'm sure everybody does.
Hmm.
And when I'm walking around these people who are very confidently talking about their knives, I find myself just internally screaming, like, "You're not doing it right. Look at how good that is."
Yep. Dude, I
It's,
didn't.
but it's what keeps me moving and getting better. But
I'm
so
trying to
sometimes
think.
I
I
don't grab
don't
all
think
the
I
info.
even sold anything last year because I was basically just. I sold. I might have sold a couple last year, but for 90% of the time, I just fucking been testing and doing a bunch of shit because same thing, man. Oh, is it good enough? Is it good enough? Are
Is
my knives good enough? And
right.
they're fucking more than good enough. I've tested enough. I've tested them enough now that I'm fucking pretty happy. I've bought some professional knives and comparably my edges hold up just the same, if not better. So yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm happy with all the testing, but yeah, I think I might have probably done too much.
yeah, yeah. It's good though.
It,
I keep
yeah,
telling myself, no, it's good you feel this way because obviously, like you said, I test my knives. My knives are being put to use every single day by a bunch of people.
yeah,
Other than why did it rust? I really don't get any complaints at all. And for my knives personally, I don't have any knives in my house sharper than mine, and mine hold
no,
up great.
no,
But at the same time, every knife I make and every knife I sell is, oh man, I hope this isn't the one that sucks big ones, like
hope everything went right with that one.
yeah, everything sharpened right, everything was hardened right, but still you ask yourself that is the handle gonna crack?
Mhm.
Is you
Separate,
never know.
maybe like you said, shrink or all kinds of shit, whatever. Yep,
Right,
there's
right.
always that little bit of doubt, but I mean, I've I've had a couple knives. I've had more than a lot. I mean, I beat the fuck out of a lot of fucking knives. Um, but I mean, yeah, it's hard to say I did too much testing, but at the same time, like the best test is like getting knives out into people's hands. And
Yeah.
I didn't really do that too much last year. I kind of just made them and beat the fuck out of them,
Well,
hammered them into
listen,
steel and brass and things like that. But I'm happy.
it's
I'm happy with
it's
how everything looks and turned out, and then taking them to get to the Rockwell tested at with the machine. That's a big thing too, and that's something
Yeah.
maybe I'll look into doing for the show. Is maybe I can get a couple knives tested, and if I can't get like a legit certificate instead of it just written down on some paper, maybe I can get
Yeah.
like an actual like stamp, like this is this.
Yeah.
Hmm.
None of my fucking customers better expect that from me. I ain't getting certificates. You just
No, it'll just be a couple. It would just be a
yeah,
couple. Like,
yeah.
oh no, like my Nitro V is getting like this hard. Like my CPM maxi
Cons-
cut's getting this hard. Like, oh my
yeah,
1095 dude is this hard.
yeah.
My dick is this hard now.
So fucking hard
Um,
over there.
yeah, dude. I mean, dude, looking at all those knives, you never know what's gonna happen.
Oh, tell me about it. And I'm a sucker for the handles. Again, I walk through, and the knives are always nice, but man, some of those guys there, because there's
Yeah,
the
I mean that's what
functional
I'm excited
utility,
to
and then the art
always check
knives.
those out.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you've mentioned that before. You think people don't use those knives, those $1,000 artistic looking knives?
I
I'd
bet
be
they
I'd be
do.
mighty pissed off if they didn't.
I bet they do, and then I bet they regret it. Like they use it. One drunk
Ah,
night, they had a little too much wine. They're like, "We're cutting up the tomatoes for the charcuterie board," and then they forget
take it
about.
out on Thanksgiving and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, just showing off to a couple that they're trying to show that they're better, and suddenly they've got this damaged fucking $2,000 knife.
I don't know, man. I would if I bought a beautiful like Go My with copper and shit. I'd use the fuck out of it. I feel like it's
Yeah,
pretty gay if you don't. And,
yeah, dude, I agree. Built These things are tools. They're
yeah,
built for use. Use them up, and if they do get bad, that's the beauty of it. That's the point. It's like having a pickup truck that's shiny.
it's
It's like, what are you
it's
doing, man?
not
Come
even
on.
that it gets bad. Like I wouldn't even use that word because that's the wrong word. Like it's gonna
Yes.
get that natural petite. Like I said before, it's a
Yes.
fucking living thing at that point. Like if you have a beautiful
Yeah.
carbon knife in your
Yeah.
cutlery set, that thing's forever changing, and that's the beauty of carbon steel, man. It's fucking cool.
Yeah.
If you keep it clean, it's gonna treat you good for until you fucking die. You're gonna pass that knife down to your kids as long as you keep it clean, keep it rust free. Um, you live in a salty environment. You keep a little mineral oil on it here and there if you need to. You keep
Yeah.
that thing clean, dude. That's gonna be a long lasting knife, and it's gonna fucking the patina is always gonna slightly change on it year after year after year.
Yeah. And sometimes the patina actually brightens. You think that it'll constantly darken and darken, and that it will brighten. It'll change all around. It's like an octopus. It's like you said, it's alive. It really is. It's changing and doing its thing. My steak knife that I made me and my wife a steak knife. And whenever we're eating dinner, we each grab our steak knife, and that's what we use to cut our chicken, cut our steak, cut our pork, whatever we're eating. And I don't clean it half the time. Like when I'm done eating, I just leave it there, and it's covered in chicken grease or rice or whatever it is. And honestly, its patina is so strong that it doesn't really rust anymore. And I
That's the
mean, I
point of
don't
the
have a
patina,
rust
you know what I
issue.
mean?
Yeah, yeah, and I don't leave it wet. It'll never get water, but you could leave it covered in. I've had knives covered in blood. I've had knives covered in fat and in tissue and
Yep.
pork and bacon grease, and you leave it there and it's fine. It's gonna be fine. Just don't leave it in a sink. Don't put it in a dishwasher. And that's the things that people they got to put it in the sink. Just don't put it
Chuck it
next
in
to the
there when they're
sink,
done. Fuck.
dude. Yeah. And I get it too. So like that's why for the most part my sanded knives it's 500 grit because I could just easily 500 grit clean it up. It's all good. I want to let people you know do what they want to do with it, and I can always clean it.
Yeah.
How would you clean your knives? Because yours are pretty polished up. If someone called you and was like, "Hey man, this shit's rusty as hell. I left it in the sink." How would you clean it?
Um, one of my carbon knives got left in a sink.
Yeah,
It depends how bad it got. I mean, if the handle got all messed up and I had to redo all that shit, I'd be pretty pissed off. But at the same time, it is what it is.
yeah,
I'd rather fix it instead of somebody coming over and being like, "Ooh, I would never buy one of these
yeah,
fucking knives."
Yeah.
But I'm gonna charge you for it. You know what I mean? If you go and fucking knife up that bad, where I have to put a new handle on it and fucking repolish it and all that shit,
Right.
it's gonna cost a couple bucks. But
Yeah.
I mean, if the handle is good and everything's still tight and they didn't scratch that up too bad or chip it or warp it or whatever by letting it soak in water, um, I would start probably probably around with a 400 grit and do all that do all that again, go all the way up. If it's a knife that had a hamon in it, I would have to re-etch it a little bit. I would
Yeah.
start with coffee. I would hope I wouldn't have to do the ferrochloride because then I might have to take the handle off, even if I didn't
Yep.
want to.
Yep.
Um, yeah, if I didn't have to do the ferrochloride and I can get away with just the coffee, I would probably just tape off the edge and just get it into the coffee. So just before the handle, just before it's soaking into the handle, so it's the handle's not getting saturated with coffee for 10 hours.
And I've done that. I did that once. I had
Oh,
a
did you?
re-etch, and I submerged the entire thing in the ferric. I submerged the entire thing in the coffee, and the handle ended up just being brown and bloated. And
Yeah,
I broke that handle off. I put a whole new handle on.
yeah. You gotta.
It was a Damascus blade, so it was like you couldn't have this shitty handle on this beautiful
Yeah.
blade, you know. So you know what's so when I do Damascus, I always do full tang.
Hmm.
I want the Damascus to go around the whole, the handle. There's that whole spine area. And typically, when I put a handle on, it's a rough handle. I grind it all down, I sand it, I polish it. But you can't do that with Damascus because it takes away everything while you're sanding and polishing it. So you end up having to do the handle scales perfect, glue it on perfect, clean it up perfect, and then that's it. There's no more touching it really. And I'm trying to figure out how to get past that, but that's it, right? That's the only way to do that shit. Otherwise, just do a hidden tang for Damascus.
I mean, you could just polish it out and say fuck it. Um, yeah, or that's the only way. You could do. I believe they're called like Corby bolts. You could do the Corby bolts instead of glue ups and stuff. But yeah, you got to do all. You got to machine everything and do it that way.
Yeah,
Or get shit CNC cut. But if you're getting shit CNC cut, you better be fucking accurate on everything else. But me and you were just like hand making stuff, and I'm
right.
hand making everything. Like, yeah, I got a fucking stack of knives here that are all pretty close, but they're not perfect. You know what I mean? Like they're slightly different. Each
Yes,
one's gonna be a touch different.
yes. And you want it to be slightly different, because
I
even
do, yeah. For now,
sometimes, like, for my everyday carries, I get pretty thin. When it goes blade to handle, it gets pretty thin, and then the handle bulbous is out. Actually, do I have one here? Yeah, so right in here, that gets pretty thin.
yeah.
And sometimes I make them just a little thicker. Sometimes I make them real thin. But when you pick it up, you know how it fits your hand, and each one feels different to everybody. So I'm okay with a little bit of variation because when you're looking at it, the handle style, how it actually feels in the hand, and all that matters. And if you make it all the same, no
That's the
one's going
most
to
important
find
thing.
their preference.
It's
Yeah,
the most important thing.
yeah,
I got
so,
some that are pretty thick,
yeah,
and then other ones that are not so thick.
yeah.
And then check this out. I got my skull beads in, dude.
That's awesome. That's cool. I've never put the handle in for that wrap. What is it? A little hole? Never drilled one
Yeah,
in. I'm gonna have to
just a
try
little
it.
hole. Yeah, I just drill a little hole, and then I put a piece of stainless steel tubing in there, and then I use power cord for this.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
cool.
found some nice little stainless steel skull beads.
That's cool.
So
I like that.
Yeah, all my drop points will be getting those.
Yeah. I was thinking of taking the day off before the show. Just
Oh
getting
yeah.
a day to like really collect my shit and get ready. So I might have to call. I might be sick that day, call
Yeah.
out.
Hopefully nobody at work watches this shit.
No, fuck it. Listen, I'm union. Whatever.
Yeah.
You take off what you can afford. They say.
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
seriously, if if you're watching this and I work for you, please just fucking let it happen.
Leave me alone. Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. You'll see me. I'll be in there that day. I can't call out anymore. Um, have you have you figured out your prices? Like, you don't have to say your prices or anything on here. For some reason, that's the weirdest thing. Is like no knife maker actually talks about their prices. You can't hear prices at all. It's just not a thing they talk about. I listen to a bunch of knife podcasts, and no one actually says the prices. So, have you figured yours out? Do you know what you're going to do about it?
I mean, I have a pretty good idea, but I don't 100% have it figured out now. I go back and forth on stuff all the time, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know my prices. My goal is to keep most shit under 200. If it's over
Hmm.
200, it means that it's something weird. It's something that cost me 200. So if it's,
Yep.
but that's my goal. Is I try to keep it under 200, and I don't know. I want to try to keep it that way. I think that's gonna be my niche. Is it's affordable.
Yeah.
I just want to.
Yeah. I mean,
I
I
want
want
to
to be
be
around the
that
same
person.
too, especially mono steel stuff, like all that.
Yeah,
Um, I'd like to stay around the 200 range, especially for like these drop points. Once I put sheaths on them and stuff, they'll probably be around that range. But you know, we'll see.
yeah,
We'll see. I gotta figure. I definitely gotta figure some more things out with how
yeah,
exactly a fair way to do the pricing with time and all that stuff. It's definitely
yeah. Yeah, the hardest part of knife making is to figure out that price, because it's art, but it's also a tool, but it's also available. Like there's so many aspects, and I think I said it already. Someone once said to me, like, price them out like tattoos. Like you pay $500 for a tattoo, no problem, and you were only sitting down for 3 or 4 hours.
hmm
So that's what I like to think of it. But also at the same time, it's like I also don't want to pay 500 for a tattoo either. So I
yeah,
don't know.
true.
Maybe I'm hurting myself to do this, but for right now, I don't know. It's hard.
I mean, especially while we're getting our names out there too, I think it's a good idea to just kind of
Yeah,
ride the lower wave as long as you're making some money and you're able to keep the lights on, feed the family, do whatever you got to do that way.
yeah,
However it's going. I mean, for now, yeah, I'm gonna keep them low. Next year,
yeah,
who knows? So like you said, I think you said to me one time, if you're looking to buy a knife and you want a really good one, probably should get one from me this year.
yeah, yeah. This is the time. You have
This is it.
you
Like,
have
cause
365 days. Grab one now.
yeah, well, a little less than that, but now's the time.
Yeah, yeah. Of the essence. So one thing that I didn't expect at the show last year was the self control you have to have in order to not spend all your money on other guys' knives.
Yeah,
Like, there are so many sick knives there, and just you have to constantly tell yourself, like, no, you're here to make money, not spend money. You're here to make money, not spend money. But
yeah,
there was a
yeah,
few times when I almost just dropped $300 on something that I could just make myself.
yeah, yeah. But at the same time, it's nice to have somebody else's stuff. It is cool.
Yeah, yeah. I can't yet. I'm dying for that day I have the actual profit to do it, but I don't know. It's just I keep thinking about that because last year there was so many things I just wanted to buy. Man, too, is there's a famous Damascus maker there. I don't know his name. I'm so bad with all that. but he's older now. I don't think he's making it anymore. So he just has his cuts that are left over,
Okay,
and
yeah.
there's a few little pieces, and he's selling some stuff, but like even that, where it's like for like $60, you could buy a little end unit and maybe make
Hmm.
a little statue that you put on your little table, or a little knickknack, or you could do anything with it.
Hmm.
It's beautiful, but it's like you got to just hold back, show
Yeah.
restraint, willpower. Something I'm not good at.
Yeah, sometimes that can be hard in situations like that.
Yeah, yeah. You get scooped up in the moment. It's nice there.
Yep, yep.
Hey, do you make any sort of sheath for your culinary knives? Like, I notice a lot of people make this just a little Kydex cover when they sell. Is that something you're gonna consider or do? Because I'm considering it.
I mean, if I did anything like that, I would just buy like the cheap ones on Amazon or whatever, just the blade covers.
Yeah,
But I wasn't really thinking about that now because, like I said, I would probably just put them in the case and send people on their way.
yeah. I had made a nice one. I just sent out a cleaver that I sold, and I made this really sick cover where the Kydex just covered the blade, but when it got to the edge of the blade towards the handle, it came up and wrapped around. That way, it kind of clipped around, but it also was
Mm,
just covering the blade, and it wasn't too bad. I didn't have to use any rivets or anything, and I'm
yeah.
considering doing that. But also at the same time, I don't want to promote people putting kitchen knives in these, because they're going to rinse it off. They're going to quickly dry it. It's going to be
Hmm.
moisture, and then they're going to shove
Yeah.
it in the sheath. And then when they pull it out, it's going to be rusty. So like, I want to
Yeah.
protect it and make it look like an added value, but at the same time, I don't want them to think that that's how they store their kitchen knives. It can't
Yeah.
be like
True.
that. So I'm torn.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about.
Yeah, yeah, man. Well, so what do we have now? It's a month and 2 weeks or something like that, right? As of
I
recording,
think it's 5 weeks from this weekend here.
5 weeks. Fuck, that's so
I
soon.
think. Yeah, it's pretty quick. There's not that much time.
It's so soon.
But I think I'll be able to have a good stack of knives. I hammer down. I'll have a few late nights, a few long weekends. I'll be all right.
Yeah,
But
man. I hope.
yeah, it's gonna come quick.
I'm playing a lot of Magic the Gathering lately. Every
Oh,
week I've been playing Magic, and that's a whole weekend day just sucked
yeah,
up
yeah,
slinging spells. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
might have to give that up the last 2 weeks. It's funny. When I was selling there, I was, like I said, I was fucking shitting bricks. I couldn't even, that first day I didn't even know how to speak. I was just so nervous because I was afraid of what people would think of my knives. I was afraid to be laid out next to other knives. And quickly, right in the beginning of the day, I sold a knife. I sold another. I was getting compliments. People loved it, and it warmed me up. The people there are really just there to celebrate knives. But what I realized is, whenever another knife maker would come to my table, I would I would be so scared of another knife maker looking at my knives. Like customers, I realized, please come look at them, come look at them. But the second another knife maker showed up, man, I was sweating. It's
Yeah,
crazy how it just changes. So
yeah,
it means a lot, because they know everything that and
yeah,
probably more. And now they're just, you see them looking at it, and it's like, oh shit, what is he seeing?
yeah. What's he see that I missed?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Feels good though. It's good to be naked like that, be exposed and vulnerable. It's good.
dude, I'll take
It's
all
how
the
you grow.
constructive criticism anyone's got, man. If you know what you're doing and you know what you're talking about and you have something to say, as long as you're not like, dude, you should quit and kill yourself. As long as you don't say that, dude, like, good, give me the constructive criticism. Like, oh man, you should try grinding them like this, or you should try doing them like this. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
take all that shit.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
No, for sure. And don't be afraid to ask a million questions. They'll tell you when you've asked enough questions. But I found myself honestly just as many questions as possible. Because how many times do you get locked in a room with 100 other knife makers? You know, it's like,
Yeah, that's true.
I got questions.
That's true.
It's great. And it's nice when people come up to you and ask questions because everyone's at different levels, you know? So like,
Yeah.
there's everybody's got questions. It's nice. It is.
Questions are good. Learning is good. And, it shows people that, like, you give a fuck too. You know what I mean? When you're willing to learn and you're asking questions and you you care, like, you shit your pants a little bit when another knife maker's looking at your shit. It means you care. You give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good.
No, for sure. For sure. Do you plan on buying anything there? Is there anything you're interested in? Any like
No.
material, hammers, nothing?
I ain't trying to
Not
spend
a penny
fucking
spent,
dime,
just
dude.
get that money in.
Trying.
All right.
I'm trying to spend shit. It's not
Well,
probably not gonna happen, but whatever.
Listen, you got to buy those hamburgers at least, though.
Yeah, I'll buy the food for sure.
Yeah, my boy up in the cafeteria, he was playing Starfield, and while I was waiting for my hamburger, he was telling me all about his Starfield run and everything. So, got to get his hamburgers and hot dogs, bro.
Yeah, I'll definitely be by the food guy, giving him all my money.
Yeah. Now, I didn't even check. Do we know where our tables are? Did you say that you requested near me? Is that something we could do? Is that a thing?
That was on the application. I could request to be near somebody, so I did request my table to be near yours.
Damn, that's awesome.
They said they would try their best to accommodate, so we'll see what happens.
Cool. Now, all right. Here's my last question. Actually, are we going to promote the podcast there? How do we even do that without looking, thirsty or gimmicky?
Yeah, I mean, that's something we could talk about. I think it would be a great idea to at least film a few things while we're there. If we don't make a full podcast, obviously, don't make a full podcast there, obviously, but if we just film a couple of stupid things and post them on here for shorts or whatever they want to call them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think we'll figure that out as it gets closer. I'm not too worried about it right now. I'm more worried about products.
Yeah. Right. Let's make knives first, and then once we're sitting on our pile of knives, we'll talk about what we're actually going to do. Because 5 weeks, man.
5 weeks, exactly. I mean, maybe
that's rough.
The week before the show, we'll bring up this whole topic again. We'll bring up everything, and we'll talk about what we got, what we were able to do, and if we were able to get a knife done for the competition, if we're entering, if we're not entering, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. We'll revisit this in 4 weeks.
Yeah, and see how miserably we fucking. I got 2 knives done. I don't know, man.
2 run down men, fucking black eyes. Clearly,
man.
Clearly not eating enough food.
Yeah, sleep deprived, sweating, jittering. Fuck.
Yeah, full.
That sounds about right. Yeah. No, it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad it's here. I'm so excited to do it again. I'm so glad you're going. I think it's going to be a fucking blast.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Fucking. I got my bread knives. I got to go take out I got to do round 2. So actually it's almost 10 o'clock now. Right, I got to go start my second cycle of temper. I won't be in bed until midnight. And then, nice 4:20 wake up this morning. So,
yeah.
But look at them bread knives. Oh yeah.
They're pretty, dude.
People listen, no one sees it. Yeah, I like the offset handle style. I mean,
yeah,
it's cool. I want to do a few meat carvers like that too. I keep noticing a lot of delis have that as like a carving knife. So maybe I won't do serrations on 1 or 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll let you get to that, and we'll meet back here next week.
Yeah, that sounds good. We're having a hard time finding an exact day to record, but at the end of the day, at some point each week, you will get how to make a knife.
we'll get one in. You know, we're two grown men with our own lives. You know,
Yeah.
playing Magic the Gathering and
And going skiing. Yeah, hell yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Living our lives to the best.
yeah, exactly. Making knives, living our lives. You know,
Oof.
it's fun.
That's
It's good
right.
stuff.
That's right. All right, man. Well, I will see you next week then.
All right, brother. See you next week.
Take it easy. Oh, damn, at exactly an hour or two. That's what I'm talking about. Efficiency
Yeah.
and accuracy. Take it easy.